my first time seeing a film on its release date, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, 2025. So today is the day after I saw it on its release date. Today is Saturday, 25 October 2025, and I'm Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle. And I'm going to collapse. So I saw Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere yesterday on opening day, its release day, Friday, 24 October 2025, and I saw a 4 p.m. showing as part of my day, spending the day at a cinema. And the ticket I got with a film pass, and I did for all 3 of the movies I saw. It was the second of 3 movies I saw in a row. And so with the second movie I saw with a film pass, the first movie I ever saw with a film pass was the movie showing before it, and that was 2025 film Tron Ares, a 1:30 p.m. showing. And then the movie I saw after Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere was also its opening day / release date, Friday, 24 October 2025, and that was Chainsaw Man, the movie Regal Arc, which is that Japanese language film that I actually did see in the Japanese language. And so there we go. So it was my first time seeing a film on its release date / opening day. It was my first time seeing a film on its release date / opening date in a movie theater. And so the film I saw after it, that was also on its opening day, Chainsaw Man, the movie Regal Arc, it was a 7 p.m. showing. And so it was my first time seeing 2 different films on their release dates on the same day, as well as my first time seeing 2 different films on their release dates on the same day, back to back, so consecutive movie showings. And all right, so during the movie I went with a Diet Pepsi, and I'm gonna collapse these cups down. They've all been used for Tron Ares, and this is the one I used for during. I saved one memento from it. I used this for water, filled it with water, and went into the auditorium for the movie. So I'm going to start collapsing these down with the oldest on top. So we can collapse it down to 2, because this was like, it's like a countdown. So it goes from 3 cups for the first one to 2 for this one, and then, you know, for the next individualized reflection / recap video, it goes down to 1. And so I'm putting my food menu items specifically on a little piece of paper. I'm putting it in here. And so my food item for this movie was dippin' dots. And I got the cookie dough, chocolate chip cookie dough flavor, and it did actually have chunks of cookie dough in it. And it was my first time ever having Dippin' Dots. Like, I figures I gotta go to a Cinebarre movie theater to see Dippin' Dots, or to see Dippin' Dots, to eat Dippin' Dots. And so I'm gonna do this and put it in. And the biggest question was, how was the movie? Well, it was great. I did make sure to get there early to buy a ticket early for both of the movies on their opening days, and it went from semi-packed to more packed later in the day, like across the 3 viewings, and so like least packed to most packed by time of day, which makes sense because like because it was a work day in mid-October, which is kind of off season at the cinema. And I thought it was an excellent movie. It even is, towards the beginning, there's like a scene and it can hear a bird call off screen, and I said out loud, Stella's J. I don't think anybody else sitting like around me heard me, but it sounded like the call of a Stellar's J. So that was very cool. The movie is kind of 1981, 1982. Bruce Springsteen, a real-life musical artist, an album he was working on, and his life at the time in terms of kind of his own professional development within music and kind of experimenting with how to record music and kind of like the science / technology of music recording, and kind of dynamics there where he wanted to do stuff, but then like it might have been pushing the envelope too much for the times. And then his kind of personal life at home, and meeting his lady, his significant other, and her turning out to be like, you know, he's working through stuff and kind of like not meeting kind of how the story develops to like him not meeting her expectations, and so she's really disappointed in him. And you know, like, okay, well, I take Bruce Springsteen's side in this relationship, but they do flashbacks during the movie to kind of another like toxic relationship he had when he was growing up with his father, who was physically abusive to his mother. And so it kind of shows the kind of evolution of his songwriting to kind of being, you know, he wants to talk about something, but how does he cut out the bad thing, which may or may not be a person, it might be the actions, which kind of he kind of ameliorates things with his father later. But like, so it's not necessarily the father, it's kind of like the actions of the father at a time. So then how does he do that in the wording of the song, kind of remove the toxic thing or the bad thing without actually harming the thing that he's writing about? So, which is almost like, if you've been following my YouTubing stuff and like me trying to cut out bad things, and like especially in the like family front, I'm like, he sounds like me, but dang, he was born in what, 1949, and I was born in what, 1993, so we are like each other in the sense, Bruce Springsteen and I, that we actually put temperance and respect of others and trying not to intend harm to others in our work product. So I was like, here we go. Now I know. Yeah. So that I thought was excellent. 5 out of 5 stars. 5 out of 5 stars for all the movies yesterday. So that's on my first time seeing a film on its release date. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, 2020.